I'm here by special appearance, Vicoactus,
And what's your name?
Cinnamon. Well, I still do not consent to these proceedings. Well, I never had a driver's license, so I still don't consent to any of these proceedings.
All right, everyone. This moment is truly something we might be witnessing, a turning point in courtroom history. Believe it or not, a sovereign citizen has just done the unthinkable. She ditched the usual script, stopped quoting internet conspiracies, and actually made a logical decision in front of a judge. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but it just happened. For the first time in what feels like forever, someone from this movement chose reason over rebellion. No shouting about maritime law, no bizarre legal jargon from Facebook rabbit holes, just a calm, rational choice that aligned with actual legal standards. It's the kind of moment that makes you pause and wonder, is this genuine progress or just a smart move to avoid jail time? That's the million-dollar question right now. Is she truly coming to terms with reality, or is this a temporary performance to soften the court's response? It's hard to tell. But either way, this case is unlike anything we've seen in the sovereign citizen scene before. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is a real turning point or just another act? Either way, let's jump into the footage and see exactly how this surprising moment played out.
Now calling the matter of the people versus Cinnamon Woodford. This is ticket number P1217275. Count 1, no plate on a trailer. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive while license suspended. Appearance for the record, starting with, I don't think counsel is represented in this matter. So Ms. Woodford, state your name for the record, please.
I'm here by special appearance, Vicoactus.
And what's your name?
Cinnamon.
Last name too?
Woodford.
All right, ma'am. Now, you know you have the right to have an attorney in this particular matter. This is a misdemeanor matter. And by right, under law, you have the right to have a representative in the form of an attorney for this particular matter. Would you like to have an attorney in this matter?
I do not consent to these proceedings. The offer is not accepted. I do not consent to being surety of this case and proceedings. I demand the bond be brought forth immediately so I can see who will indemnify me if I'm damaged.
Okay, so the question that I asked is that, did you want to have an attorney provided for you in this particular matter, Ms. Woodford?
I do not consent to these proceedings. The offer is not accepted. I do not consent to being surety of this case and proceedings. I demand the bond be immediately brought forth so I can see who will indemnify me if I'm damaged.
Ms. Woodford, you're quoting from civil, well, not even civil procedure. Right now, you're quoting from the UCC. This is a criminal/traffic matter. So those proceedings govern these type of cases and these type of matters.
What crime did I commit?
Ms. Woodford, if you do not wish to participate, then what ends up happening is that this matter will go into a show cause. After the show cause, then it will enter into what's called a bench warrant for your arrest until you handle this matter, at least the misdemeanors. And these are all misdemeanor offenses. So that's how this is handled on this particular end and this particular point. The offenses that have been alleged at this point in time is that there were no plates on your trailer, that there was no insurance on a Chevy vehicle, that's a 2007 Chevy vehicle, and that the driver's license was suspended that you had. And so those are the offenses that have been alleged at this point in time. Right now, they are just allegations. So you have the right to have an attorney, which I don't know if you would like to have that right or not. You have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right to have a bench trial. A jury trial is a trial before 6 people of the community in the city of Detroit who come and they will hear the facts, and based on the evidence and based on the law will make a decision. A bench trial is the same thing, only a judge, being myself, would sit there and I would hear those same facts and evidence and apply the same law in the same way. You also have the right to plead to these matters. There can be an offer.
I'm not here to plead, ma'am.
If she didn't come to court to enter a plea, then seriously, what was the point of showing up? Was it just to soak in the courtroom atmosphere? Because it certainly wasn't to follow through on any legal process. That's the frustrating part with some of these sovereign citizen cases. They walk in acting like they're part of a completely different reality, where courtroom procedures bend to their own made-up rules. It's almost like they believe if they string together just the right sequence of buzzwords, something about common law, strawman theory, or admiralty flags, the judge will suddenly say, you know what? You're right. Case dismissed. But that's simply not how any of this works. The justice system is built on real laws, not viral conspiracy theories that started on message boards. What's wild is that, so far, the judge has shown remarkable patience. More than most people would, honestly. You can tell they're genuinely trying to give her a chance to say something coherent, something grounded in legal fact. But so far, feels like we're just watching someone stall out in a fog of misinformation. Let's head back into the hearing, see whether she finally gets her head on straight or if she's going to keep spinning her wheels in this legal Fantasyland.
Ms. Warford, these are your choices. So it's up to you. It's a decision that you have to make. It's not gonna go away, okay? Just because you want it to go away, it's not gonna go away. There is jurisdiction for it. So it's your decision on today. If you don't wanna participate, then it's going to go into show cause because you can keep coming and it's just gonna hang out there. But eventually we're gonna have to adjudicate this matter at some point in time because it cannot remain on this docket indefinitely. So you have to make some decisions as to what you would like to do with these matters.
Well, I still do not consent to these proceedings.
Okay. So if you do not want to participate, I'm going to be forced to put it into what's called a warrant. You have to participate. So you have to come in and ready to go with something. I know you may not like it, but as a person who is a citizen of the United States of America, who is a person who lives in Michigan and is utilizing the services of our world and our community, these are the things that have been alleged. Now, if you're saying that the officer wasn't, correct in those or something, your license was valid or you had car insurance and you can present all of that, then we can try and figure out if we can get a new offer or something different. But other than that, you do have to stand for these particular allegations that have been made at this point in time.
Well, I never had a driver's license, so I still don't consent to any of these proceedings. So, I mean, I still don't consent to these proceedings. The offer is not accepted. So,
ma'am, you can stop reading that. I know they've given you a line cue that you are able to read off of, but this is as long as you utilize the services of everything in the city of Detroit and you fail to do those things, this is the ticket that proceeds. But I don't know that you failed. You said you don't have a license, but did you have car insurance at that time that you could present?
no.
Was it a trailer on the back of the vehicle?
Judge, I'm sorry. I know I'm not on this case, but if I could file an amicus brief of sort. Judge, I'm a little uneasy with, this is Matthew Dupree, PAID 0132. I'm a little uneasy with the questioning here just because technically if this matter were set for trial, what she says here could be used against her. And so I'm not sure she should necessarily be answering those questions.
You want your representation, Mr. Dupree?
She did not, Judge.
Did you ask her if she wanted your representation?
I did, Your Honor.
Did the court ask her if she wanted her representation?
You did, Your Honor.
You can continue to talk, Mr. Dupree. I appreciate you stepping in on her behalf.
I appreciate that, Judge. Your Honor, I'm just I just thought I would make that representation. I don't think the city attorney would actually pull the transcripts, but it is worth noting that anything she said here, could come back. So it might, I'm not sure that necessarily that questioning would be appropriate. Sorry, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Dupree. I appreciate you coming in to step to the rescue of Miss Woodard so that she understands.
It's Woodford.
Woodford. Sorry, ma'am. Miss Woodford. Miss Woodford?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you want to move forward with this?
I genuinely can't figure out why the defense attorney stepped in when he did, because honestly, if I were in his shoes, I might have just let her face the consequences. She's been arrogant, dismissive, and completely uncooperative from the jump. At this point, it almost seems like she wants to get locked up. It's like she's racing toward a contempt charge, as if there's a prize waiting for her at the finish line. What's even more unbelievable is that she managed to incriminate herself within the first few minutes of the hearing, without hesitation. She handed the prosecution exactly what they needed, gift-wrapped and ready to use. And just when it looked like she might finally face the fallout of her own behavior, in comes the attorney, stepping up to try and pull her back from the edge. You've got to ask yourself, why even bother? Especially when it's so clear she's going to turn right around and argue with him too. That's the thing with sovereign citizens. They walk into the courtroom convinced they're the smartest person in the building. But in reality, all they're doing is giving the judge even more reasons to rule against them. Still, credit where it's due. The attorney's doing his job, staying professional, even when his client is making it incredibly difficult. I respect that level of patience and commitment, even if I personally couldn't do it. What about you? Would you have tried to save her from herself or just stepped back and let it all play out? Let me know what you think.
Well, I'm not here to plead because I'm not here to
Would you like
plead.
a bench or a jury trial?
Are you making that determination for me, ma'am?
You have to have a bench or a jury trial. You told me you don't want to plead, that's fine. You probably should have a jury trial then. And I don't have any jury trials for this year.
Are you
So,
making that determination for me, ma'am?
if you don't make the determination, yes, the court is making the determination for you. Yes, because I have to move it. I have to move it. So it's either, well, Attorney Dupree, can I have a bench trial now? I don't want to violate anything.
No, Judge, she has to explicitly waive her right to a jury trial, and strictly speaking, she has to do it in writing. So I would say if she's saying she will not plead, that would be standing mute, and I think the court would have to set it for a jury trial.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had a very bad power surge.
I figured as much. So no, back on the record, I figured that it happened because you kind of froze up and my clerk informed me that you froze completely. So
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm setting this for a jury trial because the alternate is that I can put this in warrant status. And I don't want to do that unless I necessarily have to. So at that point in time, you can be able to have your day in court. Just say whatever you want to say at that point in time.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to, but I have to do a pre-trial because I don't have any dates right now. But I have your name down. But that will give you the opportunity. You'll be able to talk to the jurors. You will have the opportunity to have testimony taken. I know you don't want counsel, but you can have the right to have counsel at that point in time. Would you like to have me assign counsel to you?
I need effective counsel at that.
Now, to be completely honest, DV got to give her some credit here. I'm actually proud that she made the smart move and accepted the free counsel being offered. Sometimes it really is just that simple. Take the help. Let someone who knows the law guide you and avoid turning a minor issue into a courtroom circus, especially for something like a routine traffic violation. There's absolutely no need to escalate it into a full-blown jury trial just to make some grand symbolic stand. That kind of approach never works. Seriously, there has never been a case where a sovereign citizen beat the system by quoting obscure internet theories or challenging basic courtroom procedure. All it ever does is make things harder for them. The good news, at least in this case, she seemed to realize that before digging herself into an even deeper hole. Maybe it was the reality check she needed. But what do you think? Did she actually learn something? Or is this just a temporary pause before we see her back in court, trying the same playbook again next month? Honestly, she did seem genuinely polite by the end. She even wished the judge a nice day, which is more respect than we usually see from these types. So maybe, just maybe, she's finally on the right path. Though, let's be real, the bar is so low now that basic manners almost feel like progress. Anyway, that wraps up this wild courtroom ride. If you enjoyed watching this unfold, be Be sure to like and subscribe. I drop new content every day. And there's always something interesting around the corner. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, take care and stay informed.